I'd like to call the Northwood Board of Selectmen meeting on January 22nd, 2019 to order at 6 p.m. Roll call, Donald Hodgson here.
Beth Boudreau here.
Scott Breyer is not here. I would like to join us in the allegiance. Okay, so we are going to go into Citizens Forum. Is there anybody here that would like to speak?
Yes, there is.
Come on up. Could you please state your name for the record, please?
Thank you. My name is Tim Janderberg. I see that you're meeting with your legal representative, town council, here in a few minutes, so I think it's very appropriate to let you know that this coming Monday I intend to file suit. My intention is to try to stop all warrant articles that have to do with the public safety complex. I believe that you met illegally, negotiated illegally, and many other things, kept no records. There is just simply no record of anything that was done, all which is illegally. I also think that while you have her here, you should bring up RSA 32.8, and you should write that down so you can talk to her. Because in addition to the other laws that you broke a law that says that unless you have something in the budget, in a line item, in other words, unless you have at least $1 in a line that says you can spend whatever it was, $19,000 on a conceptual drawing, then you can't do it, but you did. And that also is illegal. So I wanted you to know that, number one. I think the saddest thing of this whole episode, way beyond the fact that you've done all of this illegally, is that a couple of years ago, the Northwood School, after the town said to them, no on full-day kindergarten and no on a curriculum director, they did it anyway. So now you can go on Facebook, all over Facebook today, right now, and you can see that a lot of the people in town think that doesn't matter what they say when they vote, you're going to do it anyway. I know you can't do that because this is a bond issue. But it's sad that that's where we've come to the point where people in this town feel it doesn't matter what they say.
We can't control what people think.
Yes, yeah, no, you can't.
So,
Not when you guys break the law. You're right. I agree. Last night, I don't want to belabor the point. I don't want to argue with you with 3 minutes and all of that. I would like to finally say that an unauthorized group of us went last Saturday, and we saw a beautiful facility over in Farmington. Mm-hmm. It's 3,000 square feet larger than your proposed facility. It is more than we could possibly ever need. Farmington has one only fire station, the safety complex. They don't have a bunch of outlying buildings. They don't even have one single one.
Is it police as well?
I'm sorry. Yes, it is police as well.
Did you happen?
I'm going to give you a. You can look at it in a minute.
Is their town spread out like ours?
No better or no worse.
I think Farmington.
We're not that spread out. You can say we are, but we're not.
I never said we were. The insurance says we are.
We're just law.
No, it's not.
Okay.
That's just simply not true.
Okay.
The ISO in our town is a 9.
True. It actually is true.
Yeah, the ISO in our town is a 9. You could close that police station in the Narrows, it wouldn't change. We would not go to a 10.
Insurance company was here the other day and told me it differently, so.
The ISO is a 9, you said?
Our ISO is a 9. Absolutely.
I know we asked the fire chief to look into that, too. Thank you.
So it's larger, it's far better constructed than what your plan is. It's completely constructed of something called insulated foam concrete. It's forms, I know very much about this because it's what my house is made out of. It starts out with an R factor of 50. It is so better constructed than what you're planning. Yet, this building cost $160-some per foot. What you're proposing is $280 per foot. It is just crazy the difference.
We were told 263 last meeting, and then we were told.
Well, I know what's
we were
on your
also
paper.
told. We were also told if the Farmington building was built today, it would be $203.
Do you know what
Per
year the
square foot.
Farmington was?
They've been in it a little more than a year, as I understand, you know.
But that's what we were told.
Rowan was there. So the builders of the property,
I'm going to stop you now. You're past your 3
for
minutes.
2 hours, walked around with us.
You're past your 3 minutes.
The Farmington ones?
Yes,
Yeah.
for 2 hours. And you know, I'm sure there's all kinds of different answers, but he said he could build that for $2.9 million, and frankly, I think he would build it for less, because he owns the design in this town. Anyway, thank you. We'll see you in court. I would like you to have this, but I would like you to know that this includes floor plans. I have the police chief's permission for the select board to see the floor plans. I have not put these floor plans anywhere else, and I would appreciate it if you would.
Have you met with the engineers to the property to see if these floor plans would fit that property?
I don't even think that's the best property. So, no.
Okay, well, then, okay.
I just want you,
plans.
yeah, I just want you to see what's available out there.
Thank you.
Yeah, I don't think any part of it should pass. I think a judge will tell you you can't. But anyway, you're
It's up to the voters.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Come on up, Dave. Speak your name, please.
Dave Ruth, Route 4. I'm here for and from the Recreation Commission.
Yep.
2 things. We would like to still continue with some of the programs, even though we don't have a rec director as a commission. 2 programs which would be in February
Yep.
would be a fishing derby
Yep.
and a winter carnival.
Okay.
Fishing derby probably down here on the Harvey Lake, and the winter carnival up on the lower soccer fields. What we want to get is permission to spend approximately $200. Could be up or down 25 or 50, but shouldn't be.
Can I ask a quick question?
Yeah.
If you have the answer to this? Do you know, did you guys spend the full 500 we allotted you for the Christmas lights by any chance?
You know, I don't have the answer to that.
Because maybe you might have 200 left of that you could
Okay.
use.
Well,
No?
it's
I'm
all
just
brand,
just
it's
asking.
brand new year,
That was
so we
last
would
year
have a
they
new
did that.
budget.
Oh, is it?
do
I'm
that.
just asking. I'm only
They
asking.
have to take it out of this
Don't
year's
shoot the
budget.
messenger for
No,
asking.
no, I just don't want you to do
You
something.
almost did
I think
last
he's just
time.
thinking winter's winter.
No, you
Huh?
can't. It's a new year, so it's new funding.
Yeah.
Unless
But
it was
I'm
in-
okay
Wait
with
a minute,
the
wait,
two. I'm
okay,
okay
now I'm
with the
getting
two.
confused, all right.
I'm okay with it, either way.
All right, so we're just asking permission
So
to.
what do you need?
What we would need it for is like last year, I think it was approximately 150 with some trophies, some
yeah.
prizes, for the fishing derby, and then for the winter carnival, which will be family thing, little kids sliding. We had a
Ice rink or
snowman, the ice rink, hopefully, yeah. It will
It gets
be,
cold
will be
enough.
good weather. Snowman, I put,
Yeah.
building snow. So it's just a little fun day in an afternoon in February. You know, do some cocoa, maybe some s'mores or something. So that's all. We just wanted to bring this to you, and hopefully, by February, maybe we'll have a recreation director, I would hope.
I think, don't quote me on this, we did put this out for applications. Do
Yeah.
we have any? The plan was to wait till the new town administrator was hired.
We do.
Okay.
Point of actually interest actually for me. Last year and the previous years, we've taken the fishing derby, the ice fishing derby, out of the recreation revolving fund. Is that what you're requesting? That we take the 150 out of the recreation revolving fund?
If that's how you've done it.
No,
in the
I
That's
past.
how we've always done it for the fishing
If
derby.
that's possible, we were at the time, we were thinking that it comes out of, we have money,
Well,
not money.
because people
There's
make
money in the
donations.
budget for recreation
Right,
events.
people make donations to that fishing derby, so it goes in, and that's where the costs come out of. The winter carnival, we haven't had a winter carnival in several years.
Last year we had one, but
I think
I bought the cocoa and I did the
Yeah.
baking. So
That
we-
because it was
would be-
last minute.
yeah.
Yeah, that was, that shouldn't be a big expense, I mean, if
Just
that's
point of
what it is.
clarification, that winter carnival, I would think would be coming out of your operating budget for the rec department, just so the board is clear on what they're approving.
Dave, when I did do the cocoa last year, the fire department has those great big, like thermos cooler kind of things that have a spout. They let me borrow them. So.
All right. So we're debating, we just had a meeting last week and we were like, let's keep it going, what,
Yeah.
I have
It was
one more
well attended
question.
last year.
One more question for you. With the hiring of the new rec director, being the chair of the rec commission, would you like to sit with the town administrator for interviews?
Oh, good, thank you. Yes,
ask
one of our members would like to sit, you know, if it's me or another member. Yeah.
That's up to you.
Yeah.
You're the chair. You can.
Yeah,
whoever
thank you
want.
for
I'm just
even
asking.
reminding me. Yeah, we did have that brought up at our meeting. Could one of us be there? So just as
I'm
a...
okay with it.
Okay,
That's fine.
You guys are going to be working with them. I don't see an issue with it.
all right. Just to go back with some funding, it doesn't matter if it comes out of pocket A or pocket B to me.
As long as we get
So as long as you give me some pre-approval, so, and we're not gonna go nuts, I'm sure.
Yeah, I don't have any issue with that.
Okay, that's all.
I don't think if it's under
2
250,
seconds
they don't
left.
need our
Anybody else wanna
approvals,
talk?
correct?
If it's coming out of the recreation revolving fund, if it's under 500, the town administrator or I can approve it.
So we're all set.
Over 500, the board has to.
So they're
Last
just gonna
last
buy it and
request,
give you the
I'd just like to
receipts?
meet the town.
Yeah, I was gonna have her
administrator.
introduce herself after citizen. I was gonna do it before citizens forum, but I knew he was itching to talk, so I wanted to let him talk. So I was gonna. She can now introduce herself. Sorry, this is the new town administrator. I'll let her introduce herself. Go ahead.
Okay. Good evening, my name is Heather Thibodeau, and I'm very happy to be here tonight. It's nice to be in Northwood. I've been greeted well today, and we had a nice day getting organized, reading a lot of old minutes and files, and I look forward to working with the community members, the boards, various commissions, and getting to know everyone. So thank you for welcoming me.
We're very happy to have you.
Thibodeau, Thibodeau.
A lot of vowels, French name, just like Woodrow. I
Hey,
understand.
is there anybody else that'd like to speak in citizens forum? Come on up, John.
John Woodrow, Main Street, but I'm talking tonight real quick as a road agent.
Yeah.
I may not be able to stay because I
No,
got
that's
my
fine.
munchkin with me. So in the paperwork, you're gonna see a proposal to remove the compost pile
Yeah.
for $1,600. I just want you guys to know that's something that hasn't been done in 3 years, so if you spare.
Well, yeah, we were
span
getting
that
it
out.
done for free.
Yeah, so, whatever decision you guys decide on that,
No,
if
we
I can move
gotta
on
take
that
care of it.
as quick as possible, because the weather, because they plow, there's a dirt doctor and they plow too, so, while we get the laps and no snow, it's a good time to get rid of
Yeah,
that, so.
absolutely.
That's it, and nice to meet you. Yeah.
So I'm taking it, we're not getting the chips in return like we used to?
No.
Okay.
Not this time,
No, I figured it was time that they were gonna
Right.
start charging us.
And the one more thing that he told us, he has a relative that's in the State Department.
Yeah, it's probably gonna get shut
And-
down shortly, I've heard.
The burn pits are gonna be going away
Yeah.
in New Hampshire real
Oh,
soon.
yeah.
So that is going to be something where we're gonna have to
lot of
check.
things that are- yeah.
Yeah, it's gonna be changing, but there's something to keep in the back burner. I'm also the animal control officer, so you're gonna meet me. Yeah, I'm all over, I got many hats.
All right, thank you. All right, so we're now gonna go into I'm gonna go into non-public under RSA 91-A:3, section 3A, under A.
A.
So move.
Actually, there's a couple.
A. Huh?
A3:2.
A3:2A. Yeah, I say it. You knew what I.
We got a couple other things for you, too.
You
so there's a couple
know,
of
this.
So A, B, C, D,
both got
E,
you.
F, and G.
All of the
I
above.
second that.
Yes. Roll call, Donald Hudson here.
Beth Woodrow here.
Let the record show.
I'd like to make a motion to come out of non-public.
Second.
Roll call, Donald Hudson, aye.
Beth Woodrow, aye.
We are now in non-public. I'd like to make a motion to seal the minutes.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes 2-0. So I have Chief here, so we'll move right to him so we don't have to hold him around.
Welcome.
How's everything going?
Good so far. Kind of getting my feet under, and
Okay.
Sandy's been showing me the ropes.
As best I
A
can.
lot to take in.
Yeah,
Sure.
but I'll get there and learn the way we do things here. It's just every town is different.
Oh, absolutely,
So,
absolutely.
Yeah. So what I'm here for tonight is, as you know, we have a potential opening in the fire department, but
Okay.
right now we don't have advanced life support as far as paramedic level service.
Okay.
So what I'd like permission to do is to advertise to hire 2 per diem paramedics if we can.
Okay.
Because I think that would give us paramedics level service and not be, you know, a full-time position with benefits and everything, just fill some of the shifts that we have open and provide better service to the community.
What shifts were you thinking?
My question, oh, go ahead, sorry.
What shifts were you thinking?
Well, with per diem, it's difficult. You know, it'll rely a lot on their availability. You know, so just to fill in some of the open shifts we have now that we're not, you know, not necessarily filling with the people we have, and to help us fill some of the open night shifts and day shifts, and so it'll really depend on their availability as well.
So my question is so you want to bring on a couple more part-time, are you saying and then not fill the full-time position, or are you saying fill the full-time position with just a regular firefighter? The 4th position that's
Yeah,
open.
I haven't really thought it through there yet, and I guess when and if that full-time position comes up, we can cross that bridge. It wasn't necessarily to fill that full-time position with the part-time.
So I guess my ultimate question is if we decide to put out the 2 part-time positions, are you going to put out the full-time position too? Or are you just thinking about just putting out the 2 part-time positions and leaving that position open and seeing how it works?
I think right now we have enough shortages of staffing that we could probably hire the 2 part-time, and then when and if the full-time position comes open, probably fill
Cut
that
those
as well.
hours back? Or just cut the part-time hours back is what you think and not use them as much?
No, I think we have enough open hours that we're going to be able to fill those hours and not necessarily diminish. So I think we could hire the full-time position as well, obviously staying within the budget.
Well, that was the $1 million
Well, I think
question.
I-
That's the $1 million question.
I guess I'm
Go ahead.
wondering about the scheduling, because we should be having one person for the 24-hour shift on every day, and
Right.
then you're the second person.
Well, not 24 hours, but.
No, he's not him, but he's the
Yeah, I
second
know,
person
he's the
during the
second
day.
person on.
And then you have a 12-hour shift to be covered in the evening, or whatever, the sleepover coverage, whatever that is. The 12 hours, Sandy? I'm not sure.
They
Whatever.
stagger.
Whatever they can do.
Whatever it is.
So
Yeah.
if we had 3 full-time people, that would give us 6 days of 24-hour coverage.
Right.
And then you're doing the,
Middle
I'm sure,
day.
the 8 to
The
4,
eight, whatever it is,
whatever.
whatever it is.
Yeah.
Monday through Friday.
Right.
So theoretically, we have a Sunday available, I'm just saying a Sunday, but like probably one day a week that has 2 slots. And then the evenings, so where would the paramedics, paramedics be? On the evening shifts?
We could put them on the evening shifts, definitely. We can cover for, you know, vacation days and sick days and things like that for the career staff. You know, in the days that I'm not here, we can use that. So, you know, there are times when I have, you know, meetings out of town and so forth. So, I think it would round out what we have for staff now.
So this is, go ahead.
Can I ask a question,
Absolutely.
Mr. Chair? The other thing I'm hearing in this is if they're per diem, they also can answer to calls. So if we have a call at 10 o'clock at night and they need a paramedic,
They can call
they
that.
can tone that paramedic to come to the call and we're not doing an intercept.
Well, plus,
Correct. So,
So they'd get $10 an hour versus paying a paramedic a $26 an hour salary.
this is the way I look at it is, I don't want to micromanage your department, and you have a budget, you have hours you have to fill. If you want to hire these people to fill, and you know you can't go over your budget, because obviously you can't,
right.
you want to hire these people to help your department, I'm okay with it.
I
if
think
you
I would
stay within-
rather look for a
I still want to
full-time
look for
paramedic
I still want to
person.
look for the full-time paramedic, but it doesn't hurt to, I think me and Sandy talked about this a little bit today, and I think this is kind of a point is, you kind of look at it as we have a full-time firefighter right now that's going to another department picking up part-time shifts. So maybe we'll get that full-time firefighter from a local department that might want to pick up a shift that we can give them as a part-time paramedic. Do you get what I'm saying? Because right now Adam is doing that for another department. So maybe we'll get an Adam that wants to come to us to pick up some extra shifts type
I
deal.
just worry about
That's what
adding
I'm
2
I'm
more
looking at it
people.
as.
I think that's a lot of money.
The other
Well, as
piece
far as-
to that is, if you hire for the full-time, and I'm just throwing this out there, you don't have to hire a paramedic position. You can hire a
A standard
firefighter, EMT, even if it's a basic, and give them, 2 years, you have to have your advance within 2 years. We'll hire you on the condition, we'll pay for the training, but you're gonna take the course. That opens up the application process. You
Opens
see
up
what we get
somebody
for
that wants to
applications
start
because we've got
low.
it so narrow for the full-time. And most paramedics are not gonna come and work for the wage that we offer. That most of them other towns are quite higher than what we pay for a paramedic.
Well, plus
And
two-
that's the
I just
issue
don't
we're
wanna have
having. I get it.
More than the 2
budget.
people on during the shift during a day, because we can't, that's not budgeted
We
at
don't,
all.
right, it's supposed to be 2 people per
We
shift.
just need to make sure we stay within our budget, within the actual, I'm okay with it if we stay within our budget, stay within the 2 people per day or whatever it is, within the scheduled time frame. And obviously, I still want to fill the full-time position, and if we fill it as a full-time firefighter, we could obviously
Well,
pay him
it would
less.
be EMS as
Well, we
well.
could pay him a little less too.
Right, because you're not paying a paramedic.
To your point, you can also, like you said, at the 2-year thing that we're giving them, that you're talking about possibly, is
I
we
think
have a
most
lot
of them
of,
would have their.
we have a lot of that, we have a lot of young firefighters that maybe this gives them the chance to move up and give them a chance to be what they want to be, and start somebody out young that wants to
It
become.
will certainly open up your application window,
Yeah, we do
instead of
have,
keeping it this narrow, because we have a tough
Do you,
time with that.
I guess my ultimate question is, I mean, with this idea is there people that you might think might apply? I mean, that you know of that, because sometimes there usually is some rumblings of who might apply.
I don't know that yet.
Okay.
But I agree with Beth in that, we may be able, I think you said, we may be able to draw some people from other departments, so you.
Yeah, I
you
said
could-
that.
Yeah.
I think because you have full-timers that are looking for some extra cash, like Adam
Right.
does with,
Yeah,
I think,
yeah.
Bo or whatever, and then you might be able to get him to come
So
over.
it's no reflection, it just, small towns don't have the financial resources to pay as well as a Concord or a place like that, but we might attract them here for a part-time.
Right, yeah, exactly,
So-
for a
Do we
little
still
bit.
have the contract with Epsom?
I believe so, yes. So for paramedic intercept. So the other thing to remember is even if we have a full-time paramedic, that only gives us a paramedic on 2 days a week. So,
I'm okay with it as long as we stay within the parameters of our budget. That's my biggest concern.
Well, I think that when we had Scott, he was full-time, he would also respond,
Right.
not just,
So that took
at
care of
night or
that
whatever.
took care of the per
Right,
diem that we
right,
didn't have.
Right.
So
I have
mean,
heard there's some people that may have been here before that may be interested in coming back part-time, so.
Maybe Scott would come back, because he might, you never know. I mean, he was a great paramedic. And that might be it, maybe he's got a to your point, maybe he took a nice full-time job to better himself, but he still wants some extra cash, he still loves the town, still wants to help out, gives him a chance to do it too. I mean,
So do you think
I'm
it's
worth
beneficial
looking,
though, just to have the paramedic just be on the night shift? I mean,
pretty much.
do you think?
Yeah, well, we
Is
do
there more
have
of a
some.
call for
we-
at night, like is nighttime a busier time than
Right,
during
so
the
right
day?
now, we do have some day shifts that are open, like, I believe Friday, that I'm the only one working. I don't know if you always have them on nights, if that'll be attractive for people or not. But we definitely look at predominantly nights.
So do I need to make a formal motion for that?
To allow him to, I would.
Okay, so
If there's ever a question, make a motion.
I'll make a motion to allow Chief Tetral to put out an ad for 2 part-time paramedics
Would he put out the ad? or
per
would he
diem.
do-
Oh, well,
He will work with town hall to do it.
per diem.
2 per diem paramedics.
I also would like him to put out the full-time firefighter EMS ad at the same time. So moved. Huh?
Can we do that?
Yeah,
Okay.
so moved. Any discussion? All in favor? Aye. Yeah, because remember what we just did?
I
in
didn't know if we had to wait.
No, I don't think so, right? We don't have to wait because we decided in non-public we don't have to wait to put that out, do we?
No.
Okay. So motion passes 2-0. Is there anything else you'd like to talk about?
I'd like to, for the board to consider allowing us to open an Amazon
Oh, yeah.
municipal account.
Okay.
I love Amazon.
What's our standard limit on one of those?
Okay, well, here's the problem. The Amazon limit, they still can't purchase more than $500. Anything up to $2,500 I can sign for, or she can sign for. Last Thursday, here's a prime example, we had to buy headphones for her, Linda, and Susan.
Yep.
I had to buy them on Amazon. I don't have an Amazon account. I had to make a personal Amazon account
Just so you could do it?
with the town's address,
You know what?
my personal email,
fine.
to use the credit card to buy headphones for the town.
I'm okay with it. I mean, it seems like
don't want my
Amazon
personal
is
address,
a new,
you know.
Amazon's almost like a new UPS. I'm okay with it. Are you okay with it?
I love the Amazon,
So
man.
do we need to, do we need
I
to
would
make-
feel better if we did, because
We
that
need to
way
make
I
a
can take
motion
my
for that,
personal and
too?
close it.
Yes.
Yes, you need to make a
so we
motion
need
for
to
that.
make a motion to enter into an Amazon contract?
Amazon account.
Amazon account? For all departments, I don't want to single out just the fire.
There'll be a
department.
list of people that can purchase on that website,
Okay,
and they will be locked down by that
that's
list.
fine, that's fine. So moved. Any discussion? Seeing none, I'll call for the vote. All in favor? Aye. Before we get any further, I don't want to forget this. Do we have any update on his pins?
He was ordering, weren't you ordering your badges, your
Yep.
pins?
Are
Yeah.
they in yet?
Yeah, they are.
Are you available possibly next Tuesday?
I can be.
But should we do it in a meeting, or should we?
Well, we have a meeting next
Let's go to a
Tuesday.
department meeting,
Well,
one
it's
of
up to
their
you. What do you
meetings.
feel? How do you feel? What
would
would
be
you
more
like? What
appropriate,
would
do
you
you
like?
think?
We want to do whatever you would like. I mean, if
You
don't
want a
think-
pinning party here, or
If-
you want a
well,
pinning
if-
party
if
in the
you-
department?
or if you just want to just go about your business and you're not too worried about it, I'm okay with that too. I want to do whatever,
I think, you
whatever
know,
makes you feel most comfortable.
Typically, it's at a selectmen's meeting, but the membership is invited.
Okay, so we're having a special meeting next week. If you can, you don't have to, you can wait till February 12th, is fine. The only reason why we're having a meeting next week is to try to appease some people, but if you want to get it out of the way, we can do it at, what do you
I'm just
think?
thinking next week's meeting might be a little bit
Rugged?
rugged.
All right, so how about the 12th? We'll make it the
Perfect.
12th. Is that
Yep.
okay if you wait that long?
Yeah, absolutely.
And
Chief Kenny?
I think we need to not only have him in, I
The
think
whole
we,
department.
at the same time, we need to have former Chief Bassett and give him his plaque if we have it in at that time, so hopefully we can have it
It will
done
be
by that
here
time.
by Tuesday or Wednesday
So
next
there we
week.
go, so we can do the both. I think it'd be nice to do both at the same time.
Yeah, absolutely.
And
Speaking of Chief Bassett, one of the things I need to ask the board, Chief Bassett's cell phone is owned by the town. He's asked if he can have the number, and we've let other people
okay
keep
with
the
it.
number. They'll port it out.
I'm fine.
He's asking if he can buy the phone for $125, because if I turn that phone into Verizon, they're gonna buy it back for $125.
Give it to him. I'm okay with it.
I need an official vote for
All
him
right,
to
I'll
buy
make a
town
motion.
property.
Why would we not give it to?
He has a phone,
He
and we're
wants to keep the
upgrading
phone.
all the phones anyway.
Okay.
So that one's only gonna get turned back into Verizon, and Chief Bassett would like to know if he could purchase the phone, since he's had that phone and number for 4 years.
I'll make a motion to allow former Chief Bassett to purchase his former town phone for $125
Within 30 days.
within 30 days. Any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor? Aye. Motion passes 2-0. I mean, that's pretty simple.
Otherwise, after 30 days, they have to shut the phone down, because
That's
they're
fine.
still paying for
So
it.
could you
As
send him
long
out an
as
email?
his number though goes like public for
Yes,
a
his number
fire
you can
chief.
put on the website.
It will be,
Okay.
once it's ported in. We're working on that. It's been a nightmare of red tape.
Yeah, it's been a
Yeah.
bear.
We, not just you, it seems like we have an issue with our internal website porting and all of that with
Well,
everybody.
this is Verizon themselves. It's trying to get the numbers in and out.
Even emails we have issues with. There was like 6 months purpose where I didn't get an email for some reason. So,
Okay.
anything else you got? Sorry to get off.
Once
track.
it's done, we're actually gonna save money on the phones, right, with Verizon.
Right.
So,
So do you have anything else?
I don't, unless you had any questions for me.
No, I'm glad you came in. I kind of wanted an update how things were going, and it sounds like they're going okay.
Yeah.
Have you gotten your license or something?
Brought it to the state last
Mm-hmm.
Thursday or Friday, and they sent me an email today, said I have to take a protocol exam, which is a formality, so I'll do that tomorrow, and it should be within a couple days. So,
Real quick, how's the truck treating you? Because I know it was parked for quite a while.
yeah, it had quite a bit of work done to it, about $1,000 worth of work.
Isn't really bad considering the year, honestly, nowadays
Yeah.
with maintenance.
Yeah. I had a dead battery this morning, but because there's a switch in there to shut the batteries off that I wasn't aware of. So.
And it was brutal cold.
And it was brutal cold, so
Just
now I know
learning
about,
it, but
now I
other
know
than
about
that,
the
it's
switch.
safe and sound.
Yeah, they did say it's gonna need new tires soon, not because they're worn out, but because
Reasonable.
they're starting to dry rot.
Right.
From sitting, probably?
Yeah.
Just want to make sure it's safe for you to drive, and that's
If it
my
needs a new
concern.
battery and tires, I mean,
That's
that's what
nothing.
it is. You gotta
That's
get it
general
done.
maintenance.
Right.
That's general maintenance.
Well,
I was
safety
just,
issue.
Yeah.
I was concerned of, I mean, it's been sitting for a while, you never know what something
Yeah,
could need.
I think the batteries are relatively new, it's just because there's a,
You
one
forgot
of the
to sh-
radios draws a little bit on the battery,
Yeah.
so,
Forgot to shut something off. I've done it.
yeah. Well, it doesn't shut off unless you flip the kill switch on the dash.
Okay. Anything else?
That was it.
Thank you very much for coming in.
Thank you.
Thank you for coming and welcoming me today.
Thank you, Chief.
Yes, well, good luck.
You too.
Okay. All right, so now we're gonna move into unfinished business. ITA pending project list.
Yes, I have the mainstay contract. The board had requested that it be changed to 6 months.
Yep.
I reached out to Mainstay a couple weeks ago and I got this back. They have said 6 months is fine, they'll agree to it, so if the board will sign that,
Do I have to make a second motion since
You
you've
do.
already made one?
you
You've
do.
already made one though, right?
And here is the purchase order that goes with that for 6 months, in the amount of $13,597.20.
All right, so I have a question before we go any further.
Yep.
Can I make this motion, seems I'm the one that has to sign this?
Yeah, you can make the motion that the chair sign it,
I
and she
gotta-
has to second the motion
I
and
have
vote.
to, I'll make, well, I've already signed it, so we've already made a motion to sign this.
Right, but they have to accept it.
All right.
Mainstay did
I'll
accept
make a
it.
motion to enter into an agreement for Mainstay for 6 months. So moved.
Second.
I will amend that to allow the chair to sign on behalf of the board.
Second.
Any discussion? Seeing none, call for the vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes 2-0. Does that appease you now?
Yes, because Mainstay had to approve
I
it.
already signed. I signed it already.
Here's the purchase order that goes with it for Mainstay Technologies, it's $13,597.20.
Okay.
That goes with that
I'll
contract.
make a motion to accept this contract for Mainstays Technology in the amount of $13,597.20. So moved.
Just you to sign?
No, this is all of us.
Second.
Any discussion? Seeing none, call for the vote.
Aye.
Okay, now, why we're on the subject, the reason why we're going 6 months is so we could look into possible other companies, is that the reason?
I have no idea, the board made that motion.
Yes, because we've had more complaints about
Yeah,
this.
we wanted to look into
It's not
something,
a-
we wanted to look into a different, our other avenues, so
Okay.
that would be one of your chores.
So the next thing we have is the,
How horrible
Yes,
that is.
that was the reason why we
oh,
did
see,
it.
I
so
think
we
they're
could-
wonderful.
Really?
Oh, yeah, I have no complaints with Mainstay.
Yeah, I don't know, I don't deal with them enough to.
I think that,
All
oh,
right,
they
so let's-
respond just like
All
that.
right, let's go, next thing.
Reconsideration of warrant number 10. As you know, we had an issue. The language was changed to coming out of the capital reserve. That cannot be. If you come out of the capital reserve, then you have to have no escape clause. So the wording has been put back to the original wording coming out of taxation. I need the board to revote that warrant back to its original. So if you want to read that warrant in and vote that again, because we're not using the capital reserve,
Okay,
but we need the
to see
escape
if the
clause.
town will vote to, I have to take out a few things. To see if the town will, do you have the actual, the way it's written?
I do.
Let me see it, so I can write it in, read it in.
It's number 10 on the second page.
To see if the town will vote to authorize the selectmen to enter into a 7-year lease purchase agreement for $161,670 for the purpose of leasing a new highway dump truck. And this contract contains an escape clause. It doesn't say that in here. So moved. You're gonna have to add that in here.
Second. Oh, the lease agreement contains escape clause.
Oh, truck, and to raise appropriate the amount of $26,106 for the first year's lease. The lease agreement contains an escape clause.
Right.
Tax impact 5%, so moved.
Second.
Any discussion? Call for the vote. All in favor? Aye.
Okay.
It is recommended 2-0, which we'll have to change because Scott is not here. I would just like to say that,
Well, no, it's, yeah.
now that we're done voting on that, I'd just like the public to know, I wish we could have taken it out of the capital reserve. We were unaware that you had to hold a public hearing within 14 days. We cannot make that deadline in order to make it come out of the capital reserve, so this is our only option.
And with having it come out of the capital reserve, you cannot have an escape clause,
And you
which
cannot have
means
an
you're
escape
binding the town for 7 years.
But I just want to make that clear that this is really, we have no choice because we don't have time to have the public hearing.
So Sandy,
And
or
typically-
Heather, next year, are we able to like write something so we can take some money out of that?
Yes, but we
capital
won't be able
reserve
to have.
To pay a payment, or?
Yes.
Even still, it doesn't matter that you're not agents to expend. If you're taking a lease against a capital reserve, you cannot have an escape clause in there.
So if it
Which
passes-
means you're binding the town for 7 years, so they have to understand that every year they have to pass the warrant to put the money in to make the payment to come out.
Theoretically, what we should
And
do.
all of our leases have escape clause.
So theoretically, what we should do is if this is an avenue that we want to take in the future, obviously, the board's going to be bigger, so it's up to them to decide. My suggestion would be do something like they did with the police cruiser committee. You create a committee, you have all year to talk about it, and then you decide, do we want to do it this way or do it the way we've been doing it? You have your public hearings, you get people's opinions on it, and because you have the whole year. We didn't know we needed a public hearing. I had no idea.
I just hate to put
I
$18,000
agree.
into a savings account.
I agree.
And have
I agree.
whatever we have in that savings account
What-
and not be able to use it.
I agree.
That's a,
But you also want to have an escape clause in your leases.
I know, I agree. So that's why I'm asking if,
Mm-hmm.
what do we have in what's the balance? Do you have any idea?
I don't have that with
Top
me.
of the
I
head.
It's
don't.
like 80,000 roughly, something like that.
I don't think so. I thought it was,
It's not, it's like.
No,
between
it's not a
60
whole
and 80,
lot.
I think. You don't think so? We've been
I thought it was like 56,000 maybe.
All right, so if we have 56 and we're asking for 18.5 more,
That would bring us up to about 70,000, 80,000,
is
we'll call it
that,
80.
is it earmarked to buy something else? Because you started that fund before I came, so.
We can
No, we
use-
do it
I
for
don't, we
equipment.
started that fund a long time.
Right, well, no,
What we've used it for in past is to do, like, when you do the backhoe, you have to have a down payment. It's not part of your lease payments.
So, right, we could use
It's
it as a
down
down.
payment you can use, but you can't make your lease payments from it if you have an escape clause. Without the escape clause, you're bound, if you're using a capital reserve.
So theoretically, we could get the first year's payment out of it, but that's
You
it.
would get a down payment.
the down payment of the first year.
Like we do with the backhoe, we had to put, like, I don't know,
We
12
did the
down plus
first
the
year,
trade.
yeah.
Right. You can't do the lease payments out of it without an escape clause.
And then in the past, we've used that money to buy like the highway truck that they drive, not the plow truck. You can act, so we could buy them like, so a new truck to drive around in without going to the voters out of this fund.
Because we just bought the truck outright.
Because we just
Right.
bought the truck outright.
Right.
So if we would,
So if
so
we
say we
needed
had.
a 1-ton pickup
Right.
next year, we could just buy it.
If we had the money.
You have the money
So
to
if we,
buy it
if we
outright.
had, so say we had the 100 and whatever the amount is for the overall truck,
If that was the balance, we could just buy it.
we could, yes. Without going to the voters, correct, we could.
Okay, so what I have here, this is gonna be a little confusing, and these are not the formatted copies per se that are being posted and printed. I have the final warrant, which is this. You'll see the notes from the legal are there, the zoning ordinances, which the board doesn't vote, but I need 3 signatures, here, here, and here. We'll have to
You're gonna
grab
have
Scott, we'll have to.
Sign it otherwise.
That is the actual warrant getting posted, and the warrants have to be posted by the 28th. So after we get that signed, I'll give that back to Linda.
Before we go.
Will he be back by then?
Yes, he'll be back Friday.
My other question, before we go much further, is, do we have to have should we have the budget committee re-vote on this warrant?
They don't need to.
They don't want to, or
They
should?
don't need to. There's no legal reason, and they've already said they voted it in its original language anyway. So they said they were all set, and so did the attorney.
Okay.
The second thing I have is the voter's guide. There was one in your packet. You might want to, I don't know if you want to quickly review the notes that we put in under each warrant. It's basically the same exact thing as the warrant you've just done, except we added notes to it. If I get the final approval tonight, this has to go to the printer tomorrow in order to be ready.
I didn't get that.
Is it here? Or
It
the-
should have been in
Oh,
your
right here,
packet.
yep, it was inside my thing.
The voter's guide, it looks
got it
like
right
this,
here.
the cover sheet looks like this. Basically the same thing as the warrants. In it is some notes.
I don't have it.
Oh, no, I don't have it either. That's the fire
Should have been
department.
in your packets.
No, I didn't get it, sorry. I got an engagement letter, Bow Lake Ridge replacement, Kate McNally,
Okay.
annual
Yeah, can you go
report,
make some copies, please?
It's all the old stuff.
Thanks.
annual report of the Board of Directors,
Okay. She's gonna make copies when you get copies.
compact
Thank you.
officer serving. All right, so can we move on to something else?
We are
Let's
gonna
just
move
do
on.
that, please. How about we okay the minutes real quick?
Okay, you have December 21st and January 4th to approve.
All right, so I'll make a motion to accept the December 21st meeting minutes as read.
Second.
Any discussion? Call for the vote, all in favor? Aye, motion passes 2-0. I'll make a motion to accept the January 8th minutes as read.
Second.
Any discussion? Seeing none, call for the vote, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye, motion passes 2-0.
Okay.
What else we got?
I have some assessing forms.
Okay.
Wait, we can do this one the fourth.
This one is,
Hold on, we got one more.
Yeah, we have one more. We did the 8th and the...
I'll make a motion to accept the minutes for January 4th.
Second?
So, any discussion? Seeing none, call for the vote, all in favor?
Good.
Motion passes 2-0.
I guess they did have them for the 8th.
I think that was just a non-public meeting mostly. I think.
Okay.
Well, no, because Mr. Mayor is here, so...
Oh,
I have a municipal assessment, this is your certificate. This is the, I'm not even sure what this is. The assessment of sales provided by us in Hampshire. Oh, the equalization rate from the assessing.
So do I need to make a motion for this? Mm-hmm. What do I gotta do? What do I gotta motion here? I need to make a motion to accept these, what do I gotta do? What kind of
The
motion?
equalization rate certificate from the assessing office.
Make the motion to accept the equalization municipal assessment data certificate from
Assessing.
assessing.
Second?
Any more discussion? Cross Country, that's the name of the company. Any discussion? Seeing none, call for the vote, all in favor?
Okay.
All right, just a real quick question.
Yep.
Are we in any better standing with assessing now?
Kind of. That's my next item.
Where do I need to sign right here? This. Today's the
22nd, right?
All right, so what's the next one?
I have a veteran's credit
Okay,
for tax map 224, lot 10, sub lot 5.
so moved.
Um,
Hold on, go one at a time, so moved.
okay.
Any discussion? Call for the vote, all in favor? Motion passes 2-0.
I have 5 administrative abatements.
All right, go one at a time and we'll move on.
Let me explain what they're for.
Okay.
Last year, in 17, 2 years, we took them to tax deed. When the deeds came through, the assessing secretary changed the name. Assessor never, in 18, changed them back to a tax exempt status. P1 and P2s were issued on this. So again, we need to fix our warrant because our warrant is overstated.
Okay.
So, the first one is the abated tax of $1,664 for P1, P2, 2018, map 210, lot 1. The next one is abated tax of $4,557, P1, P2, 2018, map and lot 242, 17. The next one is the amount of $1,436, map 230, lot 82, sub lot 58. The fourth one is abated tax of $1,749, map 105, lot 2. The next one is the amount of $233, map 205, lot 18, and these are in town names. And,
So moved.
and you will see they all have individual forms.
Any discussion? Seeing none, I'll call for the vote. All in favor? Aye. Motion passes 3-2-0.
I'll need signatures where all those sign heres are.
Thank you.
I don't know if you've seen this, but I'll hand that to you. Well, you can hand it to the new town administrator. These,
Yep.
and I think we might have to address that in non-public, I believe.
Yep. Here are your copies of the voter's guide, by the way.
That's a letter.
There's one for each of you.
For tax help. Actually, it's to Scott, but it came in my box somehow.
It was-
It's got Scott's name on top. It was in my pile.
I did it by Chair, or he was Chair.
It was in my
I'm
pile.
not sure if they have to do the vacant thing first, I'm not sure. I didn't read it all.
Because we can't talk about it.
Yeah, yeah.
I just
I have-
pass it along.
I have, that's all I have for assessing. I have manifest V 2019, excuse me, manifest number 2 in the amount of $56,635.99.
So moved.
Second?
Oh, that's heavy,
Should've
sorry.
sat there.
56, I can't remember what it was. Did you read that number again, DJ, for the record, please?
$56,635.99. Not a penny more. Maybe a penny less.
Must be a sale.
It is. But a limited time only. What else we got, Sandy?
Oh, boy, where, oh, just begin. I have a purchase order for Interware Development. This is the software support for town clerk software for the 2019 annual support contract, $6,202.65.
So moved.
Okay? I have a purchase order for Irving Oil Marketing. This is for fuel for the highway. Irving is back open. We're using them as our main.
Okay.
$10,000 for an annual blanket.
So they're back open now?
Oh, yeah, they have
All
that.
right, so moved. Because that was why we put that off?
Yep.
Any discussion?
No, this isn't fit.
Oh, wait a second. Any discussion?
No.
Call for the vote. All in favor? Aye. While we're on this subject real quick, do we have a balance of what we owe the credit card for what we were using before?
Not yet, I haven't gotten that statement yet.
I just know we were using the mobile for a while, that we
Right.
need
Yeah,
to
that'll,
take care of that.
yeah, I'll get that. I have a blanket for CTS Landscaping. This is for plowing and sanding for Mr. Tad Abbott for $5,000 for a blanket for the year of 2019.
So moved.
Second?
Any discussion? Call for the vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes 2-0.
I have a blanket for Irving Oil again. This one's for the fire department, and this is for their diesel for $5,000, for their fuel for $5,000. I don't think that's enough
So
for the
moved.
year, but it'll be the first blanket we've.
So moved.
Second?
Any discussion? Call for the vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes 2-0. Can you do me a favor? I'm gonna mark it on these. None of these say blanket on them. This one doesn't say blanket.
This one did.
That one does. I'm gonna write
That's fine,
blanket
This
and
one
that's
did.
initial
fine,
it.
that's
I
fine.
did 2019.
Oh, do they?
Yeah, it doesn't matter if they say it or not.
All
but-
right, I just wanna make sure
That's
we're
fine.
doing it, everything the right. So everything stays the same,
Yep.
consistent. So moved.
Second?
Any discussion? Call for the vote. All in favor? Aye. Motion passes 2-0.
I have a blanket purchase order for Flynn McGee, legal representation, annual legal services at $200 for Linda Smith for one of her boards for $2,400.
Does it say blanket before it comes?
It does not say blanket. It is a blanket though.
I just want to make everything the same, so everything's all the same.
Consistent.
So moved.
Second?
Any discussion? Call for the vote. All in favor? Motion passes 2-0.
And I have a blanket, which says blanket, for Stratford Regional Planning Commission for the year for our contracted planning services, the amount of $10,000 submitted by Linda Smith.
So moved.
Second?
Any discussion? Call for the vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes 2-0.
Is this supposed to say blanket? Oh, it's not. She changed it. It was in the middle
That's,
before.
I did. I think. Oh yeah. As long as it says.
We all put them at the top,
As
yeah.
long as it says it, it's all that matters.
I have
to me.
another
So just wanna
blanket.
Keep everything the
Buying a
same.
lot of blankets.
Just want to keep everything the
Keep
same.
warm.
I have a blanket purchase order for Suncook Valley Sun for Planning Board for their legal notices, $800 submitted by Linda Smith.
So moved.
Second?
Any discussion? Call for the vote. All in favor? Aye.
I have a purchase order for Avatar. This is for the software support billing for the appraisal software for assessing. The amount of $3,247, invoices attached. It's a one-time payment for the year.
Was that the new software we looked at?
No.
So moved.
Second?
Any discussion? Seeing none, call for the vote. All in favor? Aye. Motion passes 2-0.
Okay. I have another purchase order, not a blanket, for Avatar Associates. This one's for software support for the tax collector software through Avatar for $3,385. It's a one-time payment for our annual support contract submitted by the tax collector.
So moved. Any discussion? Oh, so moved. I need a second. Sorry.
Second? Discussion, yes.
on this one?
Well, what was the name of the new company they wanted to get? Remember, Linda came in?
Oh,
Oh,
that's for the, putting this tax stuff on the website.
That's different.
Oh.
We already
This is
paid
our
that.
IT support for the actual software we're using.
We already took care of them, I think.
We have building software from Avatar, we have assessing software, the appraising software from Avatar, and we have tax collector from Avatar. That's 2 of the 3.
Okay.
So, any more discussion?
No,
Seeing
I-
none, I'll call for the vote, all in favor? Aye. It's one of those things that we don't know that sometimes we need to know.
Yeah.
I have a blanket purchase order for Leaf. It's for 2 copier leases at Town Hall annually. The total for both copies for the year is $3,273.27.
So moved. I have a question.
Yep.
I know the reason why we lease is because we don't want to do the maintenance on them, but does it work? Do we actually save out that way?
You don't save, but you're stuck with a dead copier at the end if you buy it outright.
School leases though.
No, I'm not
Everybody
saying we
does.
should change it, I'm just saying, just,
We've been stuck with, yeah.
Don't you get like a new upgrade like every couple of
Yeah.
years? or something?
Yeah, I think this is our last year. I think
Alright,
our
I just-
contract
just-
either runs
No,
it's
out.
like,
definitely,
it
right.
just seems like that's
This
a lot of
August,
money when
yeah.
you could buy one, it just, to me.
It's not worth it because they're so costly to maintain.
Yes,
One of those questions.
Yeah,
obsolete.
definitely.
Any other thing? Call for the vote, all in favor? Motion passes 2-0, sorry.
Okay. I have a letter to the Board of Selectmen from myself requesting that we remove or we withdraw $164 from the Recreation Revolving Fund for Brian's team sales for field line paint. This was from August. I got this in the mail that it was past due, it was never paid before from the rec department.
So moved.
Second.
Any
If the
discussion?
board would sign the letter?
Any discussion?
No,
Call for
we
the
should
vote,
pay
all in
it if it's
favor?
from August.
All in favor?
Aye.
Do you want to make another motion to do the thing that Mr. Ruth came in while we're talk about rec? Because we didn't make a formal motion when he was here to allow the $150. Do we?
No, $200.
Do we even need one? Up to 200.
If it's coming out of the revolving fund, you're gonna be signing it anyway.
So we can just wait till we get it?
Okay, all right.
Just
Yeah,
wanna
if
make
it's
sure we
coming out of the
cover it so
budget,
they're
you,
okay.
yeah, you can make a motion to come out of the
We'll
budget.
wait till we get it. I just want to make sure
Yeah.
he's good because he came and asked.
Yep, yep.
What am I grabbing? Oh,
I don't know where to begin.
wasn't paying attention.
I
Did
have,
this village just get misplaced somewhere along the
I
line?
think it was right.
I don't know. No, that was back in August,
Oh, then I don't know what happened.
November, I don't know.
Oh, something happened.
I got some others that are coming your way that way
Okay.
too.
Please tell them we're sorry. No one should have to wait half a year.
I have a compost removal proposal from the Dirt Doctors. Mr. Boudreau spoke on this earlier. He's recommending that we pay the $1,600. You can look at the proposal, and if so,
So
I need a motion,
So moved.
and you need a motion also to have the chair sign.
I'll motion to enter into an agreement with Dirt Doctors in the amount of $1,600, includes mobilizations, for removal of the compost pile down at the transfer station and allowing the chairman to sign on behalf of the board. Any discussion?
So we're not collecting compost anymore then?
No, we are still collecting it. What happened is this same company used to take our compost for the longest time for nothing, and they'd give us a return. What's happened is now nobody wants compost. That was when compost was big and they were making money, so they wanted it to make money. Now nobody wants it, so of course they're gonna charge us. So we got away with it for free for a really long time. Now we're gonna have to pay for it. My only suggestion is when we're doing budget next season, that we need to budget, if this is gonna be a yearly thing, it's something that we need to do in the budget. I'm sure we can find this money in the budget, it's not an issue.
That would be something the department head when he
It's not
does
an
his
issue,
budget, yes.
it's just a reminder when budget season comes. Other than that, I'll call for the vote. All in favor? Aye, motion passes 2-0.
Okay. I have an application for a rehire for Taylor Breyer for our beach coordinator position this summer.
Okay,
Typically, we hire with a one-step increase when they're returned.
okay, so moved. Go ahead if you want to second it.
Second?
Okay, and my question to Beth is, do we want to wait till we hire a new rec director, or do we want to just appoint her? Because she did do it last year. I'm okay either way. It's up to you.
I'm okay with
It's up to
doing
you.
it, but maybe, I don't know, do you think we should have the department?
When's the cutoff that we have to make a decision by?
The beach is open in May.
My
I know
guess-
this is only January. but you have to post the lifeguards. You have to post, we have,
But hopefully we have a rec person.
My
for
guess
next
is that the
month.
rec director's probably gonna wanna stay with the person that did it last year, that's just my guess. I mean, and I don't think we had any complaints, so I'm okay with hiring her on. I just didn't want, my thing is, I didn't wanna step on the new rec director's toes by already giving her somebody that she has to take. That's my only thing. Not that anything against Taylor.
No, Taylor did a great job.
I think she did a great job. I just don't want a new person to come in and say, well, I know somebody to do it, you know? Not to say we would hire that person, but,
Right.
so it's up to you. What do you, it's really up to you. I'm okay either way. There's only two of us, so.
Right, I mean,
We have-
I can see both sides. I can see, okay, it's great to have someone that has experience, that does know
Right.
what they're doing. But then should they be part of the hiring process since they'll be working so closely with that person?
The new person.
Not us, we won't be working with her at all. Because
Let
really,
me- let me
she's
ask
under
you-
that person.
let me-
Is Taylor, well, whatever, not Taylor, but is that job directly under the rec director?
yes.
Let
So-
me direct this question to Heather. How long do you think it's gonna be before you hold interviews possibly for these few candidates? Because that's ultimately gonna change whether or not, because I don't wanna drag out this process, not hiring the rec director, I wanna hire the right person. I'm talking about,
When is the posting closed?
it closed,
There's no date to close it.
Right,
but
so
we
we
just
can-
keep it
We
posted.
have 2 applicants.
right,
I think we should give it a little bit more time from what I'm seeing.
okay.
I-
I don't wanna wait to hire Taylor, that's.
No, no.
Here's historically what's happened is when a rehire comes back, the board, if there's been no issues, hires them for the same position that they had the previous year.
No, I'm okay with hiring her, that's not what I'm saying. I'm not saying that I don't wanna, that's not what I'm saying, my concern is I didn't wanna step on a new person's toes that's coming in. And if we could.
Oh, I don't
so
think
for
you
ins-
would be.
For instance, if she said that, you know what, I'll have interviews tomorrow, or whatever, and we were gonna have somebody within the next week or two that was gonna start, I'd be like, okay, well, we can wait a couple weeks and let them meet and then go from there. It sounds like it might be another month, so it sounds like we should hire her
Yeah,
on.
I mean, I'm fine with hiring
All
her.
right, so
I
I'll
just-
make a,
I
I'll
just
make,
didn't want to take
I
a
just wanna
choice
make,
away. So,
Right.
so the rec director will then hire all the lifeguards? Is that how-
right, I
If
wanna
we have
try
one,
to
yeah.
allow
all
allow,
of them.
my goal is just try to allow our department heads as much leeway as possible.
I want them to run their departments.
Without
right.
holding them accountable, but allowing them to do what they feel is necessary, and if we don't feel it's
Right.
right, then we
Because
stop.
we want them to be successful.
We do. We do need to post the lifeguards by March.
All right, so I'll make a motion.
Background checks.
I'll make a motion to rehire Taylor Breyer at step,
What step would that
I don't know what step and grade, but it's one step.
one step higher than she was hired at last year as lifeguard,
No.
beach attendant,
No.
No, beach coordinator.
beach coordinator.
Yes.
Second.
Any discussion? Seeing none, I'll call for
Do
the
you
vote.
want another background check?
We have to. Unfortunately, we have to. Pending background check.
We should.
We ask it.
We have
Everybody,
to.
don't we?
We have to.
But you need to put that in your motion.
Pending background check.
Thank you.
Any more discussion? Seeing none, I'll call for the vote. All in favor? Aye. Motion passes 2-0. I'd just like to say welcome back.
Yeah, I'm happy to have her
And
back.
none of that discussion was to not hire her back. I just wanted to
Yeah.
make sure we were all on the same page and didn't want to
I
step on a
don't think we
new.
heard any negative
No, I didn't want to
comment,
make.
or- No, but
it wasn't-
regarding her at all.
Right,
No.
it wasn't,
We
the
never heard-
conversation was not about not hiring her. It was about making sure we didn't step on the new rec
Correct.
But
director's
no, I don't
toes.
think,
That's all it
never,
was.
we only heard good things about her.
That's all. I never heard anything bad. I just didn't want to step on the new rec director's toes. That's the only reason why I brought it up.
Definitely. No, I agree.
Okay, in my hand, I'm holding default budget. Bottom line stays the same. We voted this budget, the board voted this budget back in October, November. It's already been uploaded to DRA website. They've accepted it. However, I need official signatures because I have to upload the signature page.
So I don't need to make a new page. I don't need to make a new.
No, you're just signing something you've already officially voted.
What else we got?
I have,
Pretty good pace right now.
we are. The Board of Selectmen report was in your packets. Linda kind of fluffed it up and prettied it up for us. We just want to, you know, a blessing on it, and she can get it to print tomorrow. And she wants to insert the photo of the board right in that little square. If you trust her judgment, then, if you haven't read it yet. I have, road agent,
I'm okay with all of this for the annual report.
that is, that's just an FYI from the area compact,
I didn't see the other one then.
this one. You didn't get that one either?
I don't know if I did, I don't think so.
What is it?
It looks like this. It's the report.
No, we didn't get that.
I don't think I didn't get
Nope.
Okay. Two copies.
I'm okay with it.
You're okay with it? Yeah.
I think she sent it to me in an email.
Okay.
And I'm okay with it.
Okay.
Is that the one where she put in, Donna Bunker?
Yes.
Yes, I'm okay with it, I'm fine.
Okay. Trinity, she's fine.
Trinity, we're all set.
No, we should have a copy.
Oh, we should still have a
Yes,
copy, but we
yes.
can make a motion to accept it.
Make three though, that was kind of
Okay.
wonderful.
We'll make a motion
Please.
to- Do I need to make a motion to accept it, or are we just okay to just
No,
say?
you're just okay, because you're
Okay,
like,
I'm okay with it.
You guys
I'm
pretty much
fine
did.
with it. I'm sure Linda did fine.
road agent, this, you might want to do this maybe next week when Scott's here. There was an issue with the road agent. The term for road agent is different than that from other elected officials.
When we appointed him, we didn't appoint him to the correct him a long term.
You appointed him only until this election.
Reappoint him.
He has to be reappointed till March
Yeah, that's
2021.
not- Well, we have to ask him if he's willing to do it first.
Absolutely, so I want to bring that to your attention.
I'm okay. Just
We
have to
can,
ask him if
we
he's
can
okay.
send him a letter. If that's the case, then maybe you guys need to plan to reappoint him either next week.
Or the
or the
12th,
12th.
whenever.
The 12th is going to be a
Whenever, as
heavy
long as it's
meeting,
before
so
March, it'll be
I wanted
fine.
to bring that to your attention, so it's on
Let's
record.
ask him first, and we can.
So if tomorrow, maybe you could send the letter to the road agent.
Okay, what is it, to what date, March what?
He needs to be reappointed if he's interested in keeping it until March 2021. He was only appointed for 2019, and a road agent RSA is different than that of regular elected officials.
All right, so then the other thing, on this selectmen's report.
Yep.
She's not here to take a picture?
Scott's on here.
Scott's not here.
So what are we doing for a picture?
I don't know. Maybe she's going to use another one. I
Can't
don't know.
use last year's picture, because it would be me, Scott, and Rick. That
Can I
wouldn't be
stick my
right.
head on Rick?
That wouldn't be right. That wouldn't be right.
Sorry, Rick.
I don't know.
Is she here? Is Linda here?
No, she's not. She may. I don't know. She'll get in touch with the three of you. I know.
Maybe she's gonna draw a picture of us.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah. Oh, caricature. That'd be fun.
I have a letter, an email here from Josh Lund.
Caricature on my signs.
I'm sorry, what?
I have a letter here from Josh Lund, and he's asking to schedule a public meeting
Oh, I got that same one. I was gonna bring
to
it up.
provide information to the public regarding the project on, the the red listed bridge. This could be done as part of a Board of Selectmen meeting. To
Public
keep on track with this project, it should be scheduled by the end of January, beginning of February.
We can't do the 12th, because you already said we were busy.
You have a big meeting on the 12th.
So what's our next meeting after that?
It's at the end of February, it'd be what, the 24th,
Is
12th,
that
14th,
within
26th?
his timeframe? Is that gonna be reasonable?
He said
We're not meeting then.
end of January, beginning of February, so.
Hold on.
We meet
The 12th and the 26th are the two meetings that we have next month. Unless we're gonna have a meeting on the 5th, which would be a special meeting, again.
I won't be here the 26th.
All right, so you wanna be here for that meeting, obviously,
Yeah.
so,
Unless we meet the 19th.
all right, yeah, I'd rather meet the 19th,
So let's
because,
meet the 12th and
let's
19th
meet the
instead.
12th and the 19th, and Scott's just gonna have to do it, and then
So
we
you're
just
gonna
won't meet the 26th. We'll meet the 12th and the 19th, and not meet the 26th.
Scott owes me because I'm going to budget committee for him. the week
Okay.
that He's not here.
Hopefully Scott can make both those meetings.
So, all right,
And then we'll have two meetings on the 12th and
so
the
the 9th,
12th and 19th.
and no meeting on the 26th. So the 19th meeting will be the 26th in place of the 26th.
okay, so you want to do this on February 19th,
What is the holiday? Oh, it doesn't matter, okay.
So that means you have to go in and change that on the
So
calendar.
we have a meeting on the 29th of January,
Yep,
the 12th and the 19th of
Yep,
February.
yep.
Okay.
And
the
delivery-
29th, Scott has to be here.
that's next week.
That's the one.
Yeah.
29th, 12th, and
We
19th.
need to email him
usually
ASAP. I'll email him when I leave here.
Okay.
Let him know he has to be here 6 o'clock, because that's really, he's gonna be the one that has that. That's mainly him.
The 12th, we're pinning the new,
Okay, so I'm going to give this to her, to Heather, because she's going to be one at that meeting, and this is for the Bull Lake Bridge, the red listed bridge project. We'll talk about it tomorrow.
Okay.
Okay, that's,
What
has,
this
it's,
bridge is, but we can
yeah,
figure
it's a
it out.
public meeting for that, to give information.
Do you want to send Scott the email to let him know about the meeting on the?
29th and the
Actually, do you have
19th.
Scott's email address?
I got it in my
You
computer.
can send it to him tomorrow.
Yeah.
Let him know that
Thank
we
you.
really need him to hear, that's for that, for the reasons for the,
I took notes.
Okay?
I saw you taking notes.
And then I have, do you want to discuss the wage change form? We need to set the wage for, per diem,
Sure,
Nick Bassett.
okay.
It would,
Yeah, just go ahead.
it
read
would be at
Read it in.
$16.63 per hour, which is where he would have been had he not taken the chief stipend for those 3 years. So this would be
So
his,
moved.
his, and if the board can,
That's only if he works a shift, correct?
only if he works a shift.
That
It's,
he's
it's
scheduled for.
10, right, it's $10 for a call, just like
After
everybody
that,
else.
he's not on schedule for.
You got it.
All right, so moved. Do you have any discussion before we move any further?
How are they doing the scheduling? Are they, is the fire chief making the schedule?
I don't know that, I can't answer that question. I would
Should have asked him
presume,
when he was here.
but I can't confirm
I
that.
think this is, I think this per diem thing that's going on right now, we need to keep a real close eye on everybody, because it's a new system that we're putting in. We need to keep a real close eye on how it's working. I think between town administrator and new chief, keep an eye on what everybody, not everybody, because it's a whole new system, and I think it could be a lot of confusion.
Well, because the per diem, originally, we said we were okay with the $14, $15 an hour, then Greg LeBlanc said, do it for 10. So we talked about doing it for a while and see how we were money-wise. 'cause
You
we
were gonna
wanted
look at
to
it-
way overspend.
You were gonna look at it after the first quarter,
Right.
Yes.
so that'll be in April.
Okay.
This first quarter is January through March.
All right, so moved. Any discussion? Seeing none, call for the vote.
Aye.
I'd just like to say thanks. I'm glad Nick has decided to stay on. It may be a tough transition, but I am kind of glad he's staying on
Yep.
because he is a good firefighter.
Absolutely.
And EMT.
Huh?
You
And
have,
EMT.
I don't have to.
No, no,
You
and
didn't-
good
you didn't-
firefighter and
You didn't have to
EMT.
sign it, only I had to sign it. It's processed by you and
Yeah.
approved by me, right? Is that how that works? Sandy? Approved by
It's
me,
processed.
processed by you?
processed by me.
Okay, so I'm the only one that had to sign that.
But then you need to vote to let you sign it.
I'll
Or
I'd
Beth
amend
can sign it
I'll
too.
amend my motion to allow the chair to sign on behalf of the board.
Second.
Any more discussion? Call for the vote. All in favor? Aye. Motion passes 2-0 on the amendment.
We have this is just for your review. I don't think you should sign this tonight. I would wait for Mr. Breyer.
Okay.
It's your engagement letter from Divine Millet. Should have been in your packet
Yes,
as
that one
well.
is in my thing.
That is your, that is bond counsel.
Let's wait until the next meeting.
I would highly
Let's wait until
recommend
the
that.
next meeting on, because that's gonna be a huge meeting anyways. I got a feeling we're gonna be, that could go for a while.
I will hold this and I will give it to the new TA for the next meeting, because this is the one that's got the sticky that you need to have
Okay.
I'm okay with
with
that.
yours.
Any more discussion?
I'm at the end of my pile.
All right, so, that's it. All right, so what we're gonna do now is, do we have any administrator's report from either one of you? I know it's your first day, so it's a lot.
Just the voter's guide, if the board would take a quick peruse through the notes under each warrant so that we can get that up to the printer tomorrow.
I'm okay with it.
You're okay with it? Okay,
Yeah, that's fine.
okay.
Do you have anything that you'd like to, as a selectman's comment?
We got this
I
one,
think that's the same one I got.
about the plowing.
Mary Waldridge Beach again?
Yeah, we got this one 2 weeks ago.
Oh, you still plowing across the street?
Still plowing across the street.
Right, here's the issue with that, and I've explained it to Beth, and Mr. Breyer got one, he asked me about this
I
too.
didn't get one.
We cannot send a cease and desist because we don't know who actually is doing it. We've heard
So we need-
3 different
So
people.
we need pictures of who's doing it.
Well, here's another recommendation. We can have the highway department go down and put Jersey barriers.
I looked into that. We don't have any Jersey barriers,
Used them.
and to buy each one like $800 to $1,000.
What about if we put some cones or something?
They'll plow the cones over.
So it would cost us like,
$3,000 to
Yeah.
stop it.
right,
That's up to the board what they want to do.
and where would the money in the
What about a sign across the road? That's
I
what-
mean,
that's
I
what
know
can't
that
seem
there
to
was
catch the
a
people.
post on Facebook from the road agent saying, do not.
I saw that, I saw that.
Plow across, because
So
it's
how
against the
about, what
law.
if we put a sign right where they're plowing that says, no plowing across the road, and make it real like an actual street sign that says, no plowing across the road, literally right where they're plowing.
You can do that, I don't know that it would prevent it. My
It's just- I think that's the next step,
My
and then-
concern is that new boat ramp.
Mm-hmm.
If they're in the sand, they're pushing that into that lake.
Well, we've sent the letters to the cops. We've had the cops go down there.
We don't know who's
We don't know
doing
who's
it.
doing it.
That's the
Exactly.
problem.
So
And I went down
what
one
else we
day
gotta
and
do?
it was not there, and then an hour later, it was. they had plowed. So I
If
mean,
we don't know who's doing it, how are we, the only way we can stop
Well,
it
the only other thing you could
control
do
it.
is send a letter to everybody that lives on that particular road
Have to.
and let them know that they are now on notice,
Yeah.
that their plow contractor or themselves are prohibited from,
Game
it's
cameras?
against the law.
So let's do that.
You can put game cameras, but one, they're costly, and two, you have to put everyone on notice that they're on camera, and you have to post it on the pole that the camera's up there, and then you've got vandalism.
So I think we need to do that, what you just said, the letter.
Just notify everybody in that area on,
And then we need to look into how much it would cost to put a sign down there. I can't imagine it'd be that expensive to just throw a sign
yeah,
up.
it would be cheaper than
Just to throw a
several
sign up.
$1,000s for the Jersey Beer.
Just to throw a sign up, and then we got our bases covered. And maybe, I don't know, can we set a fine? Is there a fine that we can set, or does it,
Well, it's against the law.
it's against the law
I
to
know.
push it across the road
is
anyway.
there a fine that's set
That
for
would be
that
the
being across the
police,
law?
that would be the police that would give them the ticket and the fine.
But is there, so, my question is, so on the sign, can it be, say, subject to fine up to? Because normally when you
That
get
would,
the
yeah, we did
ticket,
find out from the police
when you
what
get
it would
the
be.
ticket, it says
It's because
fine
if there
up
was
to.
an accident, and that because that little windrow of the plow,
It would
we're
say-
liable to our
Correct.
road.
Correct.
Like, in other words, like if you, when sometimes parking, for instance, when a parking van will say fine up to $1,000, is there a fine up to amount that we can put on the sign? So it's like, hey, if you do this and you're caught, you could pay this
Yeah,
much.
that's something we'd have to clarify with the police
You
chief.
could pay this much.
So I think start with the letters, and then we could ask the
Look into a
chief,
sign.
see how much, what the fine would be.
And then look into
Then-
putting that on the sign. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
I think that's-
because obviously it's happening every year.
It is. It's been an ongoing battle, and we can never catch them. We don't know who it is. And I have a sneaky suspicion, just because of history here, that it's not just one person. It's a couple.
Anything,
They just do it.
do you have anything
Oh,
else?
did you get this letter?
I did.
A letter from Miss Kate McNally, just saying that she's worked with Charlie Smart and Linda Smith, and she's very happy with their performance, so that's
good.
nice. Good kudos to them.
On that same note, have we had any interest in the building inspector?
None.
Did you put that on Indeed?
No, I didn't put it
Can you?
in. Indeed.
Can you?
Indeed. Okay. Nothing on the transfer station either.
I didn't expect we would. I mean, that's a tough one. I think if we consider putting that one back out, maybe we consider putting it back out and not requiring that person to have the card because they don't really need it. Because they can work under Joey's certification. I think you might get
Is everyone
somebody.
else certified down there now?
Just Joey, the other guy didn't pass. But they can work under one. As long as one person has
Gives
one.
one
As long as one has it down there, you're okay.
He has to be there when they're
No,
working.
he does not.
Oh, he doesn't? I thought
No,
he
he
did.
does not. He does
Really?
not have to be the, no, he does not. That's not how it works.
I mean,
Unless it's changed. Don't quote me. When I was there, the way I understood it when I was there is
The heat came on.
how it's supposed to be done.
Maybe? I don't know. It's weird. What is that? That was weird.
The truck start.
It's very loud.
So, anyways, the way I understood it is, and this might want to check into this, is as long as whoever had the certificate was posted in the office, it has to be posted legally in the office
Correct.
anyways, your
Correct.
certificate.
Is this certificate?
No,
Is
they
it for
can work
safety though?
underneath.
Like they have to do certain
No,
things? or-
it's basically just logistics. It's just
I
logistics.
guess find out for
It's just logistics. I've been to all of these meetings. They teach you a little bit. It's basically logistics. As long as somebody there has it and it's posted, you're okay. That's the way I understood it. Because when Steve or I wasn't there and Charlie and Jimmy Wilson took over at that time, neither one of them were certified.
Okay.
They worked under.
We can check that.
I'm pretty sure that, because I think we may be able to garner some more interest if we don't require them to go to that class, because that class is pretty boring for $10 an hour,
Okay.
to be honest with you. To be blatantly honest with you.
We can make them come here.
No, they won't. And they only have them like once a year. And you're lucky if you can get it in Concord. Sometimes they have them in like Berlin. You're lucky. There's like one a year in Concord. It's almost impossible to get to, and it really is.
Is it
Once you
motion
get it, you're good.
requirement? Is that
Yes.
why?
No, it's state requirement. Once you get it once, you're okay, because all you gotta do is go to Epsom to renew it. You only need 2 hours of service. Once you get it once, you only have to have 2 hours of extra.
Just the initial.
Right.
Is it elderly exemption?
Looks like it. I looked at it briefly.
Can I read that into the record in the minutes, or does that have to be non-public?
Yeah, wait, let me, yeah.
That's why I was gonna bring it up in my selectmen's report. Well, the only selectmen's report I have is, I didn't wanna leave you out, I kind of talked to Heather, kind of the things that I liked from the town administrator. I told her I'd like a weekly update like we were getting before, whether it's email or,
Yeah, we also talked before
text.
with
We
Kate
need to talk
about getting
do this tonight.
department head updates as well.
Talk about that after.
department head updates, maybe once a quarter or once a month.
Even once a month, just to like see.
Yeah, like I-
People ask us, and we have no idea.
Like I told you before, I'm not looking for hour by hour what you're doing. I'm looking for like, for instance, follow up on the bridge thing. That's something major. Follow up on where you are with hiring a rec director or doing interviews, stuff like that. I'm not worried
Yeah,
about
I think
everything you
It's
do.
nice to know like what's happening too, like, is there, like, yeah, you
Yes.
did this, or like how many calls the fire department had that month, or
Well, from the
what
fire,
what does
yeah.
rec have coming up this month, that
That's
kind
from
of stuff,
that's
you
from
know?
them, not from you.
Right,
But yeah,
but I think because Kate was gonna have them email her, and then that was gonna be like in her
That's what
her
I have them
report.
to do is
Right.
send them, other departments send me and then I send it on.
my other question
little
is,
blip, you know, nothing.
I know it was a little hectic today and it was your first day, but did you have a staff meeting?
Not today, no.
Okay, you may want to
I
have.
was gonna plan one, but I had, some people wandered in, which
No,
was
that's
kinda
fine. I'm
nice.
not trying, I'm just trying to make you feel as comfortable as possible.
I'd like to get around town and see some of the places in town, know where some places are.
I'm sure Mr. Bailey will love to take you around town. You'll meet him soon enough.
Okay. And,
He loves,
Kid.
he loves,
oh, he's the gentleman I met.
he loves taking the new town administrators around town and showing them all.
He
the
already offered to
artifacts.
take
He
them.
loves doing that stuff. That
And
is
I'd
his
like to,
thing.
and have all the department heads in, just so I know who I'm working with, that will help too. So it's just kinda getting acclimated, I think will take a little bit of time.
Yeah, absolutely. And, I
Did they
think,
finish painting?
yes,
They did?
I don't know if they haven't seen him yet. I think this is something else too. Obviously, we haven't there's gonna be 5 people, but I think for the 3 people, Scott's not here with a new town administrator, maybe by next week, next meeting, if we have kind of our goals of what we wanna do with the new administrator. Cause I think that's something we didn't do with Kate, that maybe we can look forward to the next year. Obviously, you know, your 2 goals, you know, who knows where I'm at, but
I
something
will-
for her to go
Not
on,
like that.
you know, as I don't think we ever gave Kate
worried.
direction completely. You know, like, we never really had like, hey, this is our goal for this year.
Mrs. Blue will be in on the February 12th meeting.
Awesome, it's good to hear.
She's gonna finish up the wage study for us, the job descriptions, the ones that you have not approved. Her goal is to wrap that whole thing up that night.
Okay.
I unfortunately will not be here the next day to implement the wage study, but I will work on it when I come back. In my small window of time each day, I will get that put together.
Okay, and then my next question, this is again semantics, making sure we're all on the same page. Do you have the current phone number for the town administrator, or are you on your own phone that you gave us the number you gave us the other meeting?
I still have my own phone.
Are you planning on keeping that number and not using the town's?
I was gonna try to
Do
get
both?
She will be returning the phone when she comes down.
I just want to make sure when I text somebody, I'm texting the right person. I'm not texting Tammy while she's on
Yeah,
vacation.
maybe they could change her email too, I think it still says, Kate, yeah.
Half the time.
Really, hers shouldn't.
All right.
I got an email today.
Maybe could you send us out a test one
I
tomorrow,
think when it comes
please?
though,
Thank
when
you.
it comes to us, it still says.
Well, let her send a test one out and see
Yeah.
what
I got one
happens.
today.
Send a test one out tomorrow and then
We
we can
can,
go from there.
because I know Kate's was looped to Tammy's. I did not loop Tammy's yet because she's still back and forth doing these job things with me. So hers isn't looping, so
Okay.
hers shouldn't do that. until we sever Tammy's connection.
I'm hoping
We-
that I
we-
can get some of those old ones eventually, so,
Well, you'll have to,
yeah,
so that you can be in
You
on,
could be in the loop.
right.
right.
I'm out of
So right now, they're looping to Tammy, and I don't wanna disrupt that and then get her cut off and have it loop somewhere.
Do we have
Which
anything
is done
else
a little
before we go into non-public?
So,
All right, we need to go into non, oh, well, I'm gonna ask citizens forum, seeing there's no